To finish my friend, this is the end. It's a revolution, it's a civilian.
How's it going, everybody? It's been a while. Welcome to another round of YOUNG7YANG game reviews. Today we're going to be talking about a game called Crysis 2, which most of you are familiar with by now. This game came out roughly a week ago. We're going to be going into the story mode of the game. We're going to be talking about, for the first time, at least with me, multiplayer. And then after we talk about multiplayer, we're going to be discussing gameplay and graphics. Now, I'm using the PlayStation 3 version of this game just to give you an idea about how good the console version holds up to the PC version. And we're also going to be doing a small comparison between the PC version of the first game and Crysis 2 for the PlayStation 3, just to give you an idea about how how good or okay the graphics are, in comparison to the PC version. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this review. Let me know what you guys think in the end, good or bad or welcome. Thank you very much, and see you guys soon, or hear from you guys soon.
Strong team as usual. That's in the Eastern. In the Western, I'm liking San Francisco, but with Los Angeles as the sleeper.
Okay, so we're looking at a New York, San Francisco in the finals, or possibly LA. You heard it here first, folks. We'll call Gary on it at the end of the season. That's all the sport. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for the workout.
Thanks, guys. And that's not all we're following. Here's Dan at the help desk.
3 more employees at their Times Square headquarters have been diagnosed with
denied reports of a biochemical leak at their Midtown research unit. Parent company Hargreave Rash were unavailable for comment.
So far, there are 127 laboratory-confirmed cases, but due to the speed of infection,
all transport routes have now been severed as gasoline threatens to bring the dreaded 200.
We need to reinstall trust for our law enforcement.
Hi everyone, welcome to the story portion of this review. Well, how can I put it? You start off as a character called Alcatraz, alright? And you start off in this U-boat or submarine, whatever. Anyway, all hell breaks loose, explosions happen, and that's where the story kicks off. Now, if you've played the original game, you're kind of asking what happened between the original game and now. And this is where the confusion starts, because it's just basically putting you in the middle of no man's land, and this is a direct sequel. So it's not really a direct sequel, but it's definitely a sequel. You don't know how many years it takes place after the events of the original. And this is kind of a negative aspect of the game, because you really do want to kind of fill that gap between then and now, like what happened with characters like Nomad, for example. We know that Prophet obviously did get out of the Ceph. He's in this game, or he's at least in the beginning of the game. Now, if you haven't played the original, you're still missing quite a bit, because you don't know who the Ceph are, you don't know where they came from. And this is one of the, I guess for me, this is the only negative aspect of the story. But there's a lot of positive aspects. Now, I'm going to tell you how the story itself was told. And to me, I found this pretty unique. It's told in 3 different ways in comparison to the original. The original was only told in one way. It was all in-game. But this one, you have 3 different ways to tell the story. You have the in-game cutscenes, or the in-game cutscenes, the actual in-game NPCs talking amongst each other, going amongst the radios, or finding radios and broadcasts and listening to that, and you get bits and pieces to sort of put things together. You have your loading screen intros, which really help to fill in a lot of the gaps and just basically lead you from one mission to the next, but they also give you bits and pieces about the overall story itself. And then you have the flashbacks, which are CG flashbacks of Prophet, basically filling in a lot of the holes of what happened between the original game and this game. And this is one of the great aspects of this game, is the way it tells the story itself. And as you progress in the game, it does start off very slow, but as you progress in the game, the story really does pick up. And towards the end of the game, you really want more, but it just kind of ends. It doesn't really end in a bad way, though. It has a very good way of ending, but you definitely want to see the next game now, not wait 3 or 4 years from now. Anyway, let's get back to the character Alcatraz. As you just saw, Alcatraz gets all shut up by this alien thing, and basically Prophet saves him, gives him his suit, and says, "Okay, now you're taking over my mission." And that's where everything starts for Alcatraz. Now, Alcatraz is also, everyone thinks that Alcatraz is Prophet. you know, so everyone's under the impression that you're Prophet from the very beginning, and over time they figure out you're not, but this is how it definitely evolves itself. Now, one other thing I do want to talk about that is, in my opinion, is very key is if you are the kind of person who likes to play campaign modes, such as myself, then it is very important when you play this game to please just take everything and, you know, not just go around shooting things up, but listen to the characters, the NPCs talking as you're walking through the subway, for example. If you come upon a radio, listen to that, because you'll get a lot of the little bits and pieces of the storyline that are really key to understanding the overall experience of the story. And towards the end of the game, one other thing I want to mention is during the game, the music itself also helps to play a huge piece in the story. Not just the music, but the overall graphics and set pieces themselves. Like,
Break a 1-9, could you please get an operator on the phone line? This is not a riot, it's way much more than that. These people are dying, we are under attack. Wait, let me call you back, let me get my strap, cause we ain't taking shit, so therefore we're fighting back. We ain't wait.
But piles of flesh and bone. Too weak to stand against the enemy we now face. But with the nanosuit, I can give them speed, invisibility, and unimaginable strength.
Review. This is the first time I've ever done a multiplayer, and I'm going to say it right off the bat, I am 100% noob. Yep, the word I've never used in my life until just now. 100% noob. So I suck at multiplayer games, but this game is fun. This is very fun. This is the second time I've played a multiplayer game. The first time was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and now I'm doing Crysis. So I can't compare this game to Call of Duty like all you people want, because I've never played the game. I personally don't like it that much. But how can I put it? I had a lot of fun with this game, and I got killed multiple times, which you're not going to see in this little multiplayer section. You're only going to see the parts where I'm kicking ass, which is far and few between. Now, since this is the first time I've played multiplayer, I'm just going to give you some different aspects of how it works. You have quick action, which is the only version I played of it, but there's a lot of different aspects to it, which you'll have to get into yourself. Now, in quick action, when you go into it, it basically takes you to the biggest fights going on, and I went ahead and did team quick action, which is I found very fun. Now, how the mechanics work in this multiplayer mode are pretty cool. Basically, you're allowed to use all the abilities from the campaign mode in the multiplayer mode, so you're able to go into stealth mode. But the stealth mode in the multiplayer mode doesn't last as long, but it's very, very important. I liked it simply because it helps you to hide from your enemies, and you can see your teammates, because your teammates will appear to be a certain color, but your enemies will appear to be a different color. Even when your enemies are cloned, you can still see them, but they're a lot harder. They're a lot harder to spot. Now, one of the cool things I do like about this multiplayer, in comparison to the other multiplayer games that I've seen but really haven't played, is that you do have blind spots in this game and spots where you can hide, which I like. I like to sneak on my enemies and kill them by surprise. I hate being out in the open. And this game has a lot of those little areas where you can go and hide and stuff. And I'm the person that you'll hate. I'm the person that'll basically sneak up on you when you least expect it and stab you in the back. I'm not gonna come confront you in the beginning and I'll get killed. And you know, this is one of the things I love about this game, is you can be a ninja, or you can be an ass and, you know, hide somewhere for multiple long-dated periods of time. But it's not gonna help your score, though. That's one of the things about this game, is it does go against you if you are like me when you play this game. If you are serious about your overall score, then yeah, you need to kill as many people as you can in as many fancy ways as you can. But that's not how I play this game. See, I loved Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. That's what I'm going to compare this to, because Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, it promoted you to hide amongst the crowd. It promoted you to you know, to use different ways of killing people. It promoted you to use stealth. And this game does promote that to some extent, but it doesn't really reward you for it. And that's one of the things I didn't like. Now, one of the things I will also mention is because of the set pieces and the size, sometimes it can be difficult to find your enemies. And sometimes, like shooting enemies doesn't make sense. I remember I unloaded a whole clip on one guy, didn't kill him, so I assume that's because over time your character levels up and gets stronger, or depending on what weapon you're carrying versus another. Like I had a I don't know what the thing's called. I would call it a minigun from Terminator, you know, and I had to unload like 50 rounds on the guy before I finally killed him. Luckily, I was standing behind him when I got him, or I would have been dead. One of the other great things that works in this game pretty well is melee attacks. Melee attacks tend to...
Start spreading the news. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I'm leaving, yeah. I want to be a part of it.
Hey, Nomad, you still with us?
Okay, listen up, gentlemen. Intel reports a significant military presence on the island. We have the element of surprise, so let's use it. The North Koreans can't know we're here.
They won't even know what hit them.
Can it, Psycho? Pay attention. This is a covert operation. Our job is to locate and evacuate. We're not at war here.
Not yet.
Prophet, do we even know if these people are still alive?
That's what we're here to find out. We lost contact with Dr. Rosenthal a week ago when the Korean military locked down the island.
Graphics and gameplay portion of this review. One thing I'm going to mention right off the bat is that this game does not look as good as the original in terms of texture quality, in terms of shade, in terms of overall character. But I can say it does look good. It definitely holds its own on the PlayStation 3. If you're not very keen on specific types of graphics, then you'll like it, you'll enjoy it. And I can tell you right off the bat, like I've read a bunch of things on the internet that the frame rate chugs here and there, and I haven't felt, I haven't seen, or haven't, you know, been witness to any frame rate issues whatsoever during the campaign mode. The game ran super smooth for me, and when I say super smooth, I'm saying anywhere from 25 to 30 frames a second. Now, if you've played the PC version of the original Crysis, that's about what you run at on full specs, and to me that's good enough. It doesn't need to run 60 frames a second to be a great game. So, you know, moving away from the FPS portion, moving away from frames per second, let's go on to the overall visuals themselves. I mean, for the PlayStation 3 version of this game, I haven't played the Xbox 360 version, but I've been told they're identical. This game looks beautiful. It definitely doesn't look as good as the PC version of Part 1. I haven't played Crysis, so I'm not compared to that, but compared to the it doesn't look as good as the original of this game. There are some graphical issues here and there are some AI issues here and there, but it is amazing what they're able to pull off on such a good console, you know, in terms of computer years. And that's pretty much what I can say. I mean, you have all different types of set pieces. You have things being blown up in front of you. You have roads being destroyed in front of you. I mean, and this set right here, you can see I'm in the middle of the sky with this alien ship flying out of the ground with a huge chunk of New York on top of it as it's falling from it, you know, as you're progressing in the stage. It just looks beautiful. And that's one of the cool things about the graphics. I mean, they were able to get all that into this, and I really have to give props out to Crytek for doing such a great job. Now, again, it's not as good as the original game in terms of graphics, but if you're not a graphics whore, then you'll enjoy it, and you'll like it, and you will love the ride. I mean, and graphically speaking, it's definitely good enough. Now, moving on a little bit towards gameplay, this is where the game takes a few steps back, and at the same time it takes a few steps forward. Gameplay-wise, the original was very much an open-world game, you know, how you were able to approach each objective. This game is not linear, but it's not as open-world as the original was, which is something that I don't quite enjoy as much, because you're limited to the amount of ways you can approach a particular situation. But there are a lot of perks to what they've done. They've completely mainstreamed the nanosuit, so you don't have to press a special button to run quickly anymore. You don't have to press a special button to jump high anymore. That's done automatically by holding the jump button down or by holding the L button down. And your nanosuit's technology in terms of being able to cloak yourself and also being able to what was the word I'm looking for? Make yourself stronger. It's just a lot. It's a lot smoother in this game than it was in the original. That's one of the perks. I mean, even though the game is a lot less open world than the original, the gameplay mechanics have been completely mainstream. Now, the enemies themselves, there's a lot more variety to them than the original, in my opinion. You don't have the most limited. You have splinter group who is trying to get your nanosuit and kill you at the same time. So you do have the human aspect of the game, not just the alien aspect of the game. And then your overall aliens, there's a lot of different types of them. And the ones you want to be careful for are the ones that appear to be red, because those things can see you filter. This is our chance. And one of the things I will mention about this game, in terms of the gameplay, is it's a lot. There's a lot more depth to it in terms of height. You don't approach your enemies from different angles. Instead, you approach them from different heights. That doesn't sound correct, but that's the best way I can describe it. I always say sniper position, and your buildings play a huge.
This is the finish, my friend. This is the end. It's a revolution. It's a civilian revenge. There's no need to move or adjust no television. Whenever an era dies, another.
Okay, welcome to the final portion of this review. To buy or not to buy. If you like first-person shooters, without a doubt, pick this game up. And if you don't like first-person shooters, without a doubt, give this game a chance. This is a very good game. Very good effort. A lot of time put into it. And well worth the $60 I paid for it. And I mean, if you guys want to wait for the price to go down, by all means wait, but I guarantee you when you pick this game up, you will enjoy it. On a personal note, I didn't play the original Crysis game until 2 years after its release, and I was like, why didn't I pick this game up on day one? Because it's that good. Now, if you're a multiplayer fan, if you're the Call of Duty fan, I would still give this game a shot. I mean, it's a really good game, and please ignore the bad reviews. I promise you, you play this game, you will enjoy it, you'll like every aspect of it, and even my daughter thinks so. What do you think, Lynn? Good game, right? Yeah, it's a good game, so by all means, pick it up. It's got 2 thumbs up for me, and that's the best I can give it in terms of score. See y'all next time. Hope you enjoyed this review. Leave good, negative, positive, or whatever kind of feedback you want. Peace out for now.